Hey everybody, so I wanted to do a video just to let you know I'm still alive. I'm gonna do a small. I have a card from Jay that I want to show, so I'll do that at the very end of this. It's just they had me on. I have some new antibiotics that I'm on, and it's sort of anybody that's taking antibiotics, depending on what they are, they can sort of kick your tail a little bit. And that's sort of where I'm at. Just, exhausted. It had a little bit of a internal, I think it was like an internal infection. It wasn't anything dangerous or anything like that, but it was just nipping it in the bud. So I sort of been a little weirdy, pretty tired, and just exhausted in general. So that's sort of why I've been backed off. I am hoping here in the next couple weeks I'm gonna start getting out doing the live filming again, because I haven't been doing a whole lot of that. I just got out in the last couple weeks, started doing that. So we got a couple of long forms coming out. I went back out to Ono, to Mount Nebo Cemetery, to film the place where Daniel Jones and his family are buried, and I gotta make a trip out to Cedar Hill Cemetery in Fredericksburg, because I want to do that video on the Zimmerman sisters. Really quite cool people. Jay had been the one that had found the information on the impact that they had actually had, and I for some reason my brain was like, those are lacrosse sticks, and it was actually clearly field hockey. But Patricia, to my knowledge, is still alive. She's the last of the 7 siblings that's still here. Everybody else has since passed. But I want to also do a Finding History on the Zimmerman family, because this was really pretty cool family. Starting with their parents, do a little something on them. I think most of them are buried in Cedar Hill, so we'll get the ones that are there. But pretty cool lineage, very talented, gifted family. So I'd like to do a Finding History video on that as well. I got to start getting some of these videos, the lecture series. I have the Constitution Day on the U.S. Constitution. I have the Hanover Resolves for the 250th anniversary of the Hanover Resolves. I have both of those done. I just got to finish editing, and then we can put those up. I have a video from way back that's a test video. The first time I filmed with the new camera. So I want to do that. That's Kaufman Cemetery over North Annville. And then I have the return that we made to my brain. This is like the stuff like I'm just not all there. Cold Springs Resort, and with a lot of pictures from back then and that type of stuff, so you can really see how impressive a place this was, and just see some of the interesting, at some point I'd like to get the Lebanon County Historical Society to do a video there at their Stoy Museum, I believe is what it's called. And they have the Cold Springs, the facade, basically like the front of their rail station. It'd be pretty cool to check that out. That was thanks to a couple different guys. I think Francis Stitzler was one of them, that they asked permission to go to the dump to try to rescue as much of it as they could, and they were able to rescue quite a bit of it. And because of that, it's still, at least part of it still exists. I also have a video I still got to put together on the tavern there, in Schaeferstown. Man, my memory is bad. But anyways, that tavern there had the Gimberling Rex House. I did a video there. I've just got a lot of stuff I've got to do with pictures. I was pretty tired at the end of the Harvest Festival, so when I filmed that last fall, I didn't film like I ordinarily would have, and I want to put all that together so you guys can actually see everything that's there. It's a really neat place. It's 1700s tavern house, and you get to sort of see what that would have actually looked like, because it was a combination of those people's home, and it was also a tavern house, and it's one of these great examples of what they would have been like back then. And there isn't a ton of those left anymore. But have that. I think I have one other one I can't think of as of the moment, but live forms that I have already ready to go. I want to say a special thank you to Kid Card. You gave three super thanks, and two of them were impressive. So I want to say thank you. That stuff helps to the channel to be able to go out and do things. I'm starting to get back in a position where I can start doing things again. It's just physically, I gotta limit myself to a degree until sort of we either get this infection out, or we're looking at the future surgeries or whatever's going to happen. I'm not really sure at this stage, but I think there's going to be some stuff that's going to have to happen. What that is exactly yet, I'm not really sure, but we'll figure it out and go from there. But anyways, like I said, I want to try to start getting out. I'd like to get up to Schuylkill Haven. I do the series Then and Now. They have a really cool placard, like sign, historical sign thing that'll have sort of at a location, you get to see it now, and then they'll show then, like historic buildings that were there. So I think it's at least 17 or 18 stops, if not in the 20s. So I'd like to go back up there and do that entire series. Also, I had Country Roads Take Me Home that I did. I think it was Schuylkill Haven to Pine Grove. I forget which route that is, but one person had mentioned there are a couple really cool roads. These were shorter Country Roads Take Me Home, but they said there's some really neat valleys they used to run in those valleys. So I figured, you know what, we're gonna go check out both of those, and start getting some of these Country Roads Take Me Home going again. I just haven't been able to do it because I haven't had the money for gas and that type of stuff, but I now am in that position where I can start doing that stuff again and go from there. But that's some of the immediate plans. At some point I want to get right back to the Muhammad Ali training center up there in Deer Lake on Sculp's Hill. I would like to go through that again because I know more what I'm looking at now, and can talk a little more in depth about it and concentrate more on the actual facility and less on those historic signs, just because it's just such a cool place. And maybe even get a little bit of one of the guys that's there tour. They can take us around and let us check that out. But mainly this video was to say, hey, still alive. I'm doing okay. I just I'm very exhausted right now. Certain antibiotics will wear you out a little bit more than others. I had been on one for quite a while, which is way too long, but that one didn't really affect me in that way. These are affecting me differently, so it just sort of is what it is. But we're going to start going back and doing a lot of these shorts, going and hitting a lot of the hometown historic churches. I just did one on Beanoggles Lutheran Church, which was really cool. And at some point, like I said before, I want to get back into a number of these churches, like inside, so you guys can actually see what they look like, because a number of them have very unique features. Beanoggles is one of them, and it's definitely something worth checking out. But anyways, I got to start mapping together what I'm all going to be doing, because I want to really start getting some of these series that I've also started, mapping them out, getting them going, and really doing some more with those things. I'm still trying to figure out a name for the series with Josh and Sharon, because we're going to be doing quite a bit of adventures with them. We will continue to do a lot of really cool adventures with Ralph, also Missy. We have a number of plans. It's just waiting for the weather's finally starting to get nice again. I do want to get that series going. The last couple videos of what the channel all has to offer. I have to get the store up at some point. It's not really a priority right now. It's just more so, I don't know what that is. But anyways, I want to get my channel where we're back and consistent with posting and that type of stuff. And once we have that down, then we'll really sort of get on it and get some of the other stuff going once we're established again. It takes a little while to get that going. There's some weird things with the algorithm as of late that I don't quite understand, but I know they're changing certain things. I think YouTube is putting a higher focus on the long forms again, because people's media habits are changing. It seems like people are more willing to sit down and watch long forms, and even watch ones that are 30, 45 minutes. That's sort of replacing their TV. They find their niche of what they're interested in and start going. And the other thing I want to announce, now that I'm struggling yet, but I'm at the stage where I'm going to start looking at doing it. I am going to start doing a series on cemetery stone cleanups. I just have to review a couple things, get permissions and stuff like that, get my D2 cleaner and a couple of the other things that I need specifically to do these. And I'm probably going to start either with my grandparents' stone, or I am going to go and do the Fisher family there in Myerstown. I want to, when I get more comfortable, and maybe get the assistance of the guy that I was talking to with Sons of the American Revolution. I want to get Martin Walborn's stone back up again. Try to get that set up in such a fashion that it's not falling over again, because the stone's only going to be able to take it falling over so much before it starts splitting into a lot more pieces. Now it's just the base where it cracked, and then the top part. So at least it's only in two pieces, and it's relatively simple to get that done. I just want to make sure we're doing it right. And then that's a marble stone, so I want to try to clean that, and I want to try to start cleaning some of my Walborn relatives, probably Christian Walborns, since he's family. Those you don't have to ask for permission as much, because you're family and you can clean their stones. So that's something I think will be interesting. That'll start coming up here in the spring at some point. But a lot of different stuff. I'd really like to get on that French and Indian War series, sort of making sense of that, starting with, I still have the video. I haven't put it out yet, but there's 4 guys that were massacred on the same day. And then talk about a couple of these different events that sort of defined French and Indian War. It's one of those things that it was the colonists and the Native Americans were sort of stuck in between two empires. We've talked about it on a couple of different maps. There was sort of that in-between zone, and obviously the French were going to want to go as far east as they could possibly go. The English would want to go as far west as they possibly could, but they sort of had the Appalachian Mountains there in this area, the Blue Mountains, that were sort of the mark-off zone of you don't cross this, and people crossed it, and there were a couple deals there that were done as well that were really not right, were very unfair, especially to the Lenape, and that's why they joined up. They had been very non-aggressive to that point, and that's part of the reason Conrad Weiser decided to deal with the Iroquois Nation, because he felt that there was a bigger threat there. Unfortunately, the Lenape had been treated poorly enough times that they just had enough. They're also known, there's 2 different groups of the Lenape, but overall known as the Delaware Indians. Originally had been in the Delaware region, lost their land, were pushed out. Then they went into the Susquehanna region and the northeast region of Pennsylvania. Once again, got pushed out, and that was just sort of it, because the deal was really rotten. And it was somebody that didn't even own the land that was selling it. So I think they made the deal with the Iroquois Nation. It was just sort of like, yeah, that's not really your land, but so be it. Anywho, hoping to get the channel start getting up. Maybe I'll start out with 2 or 3, maybe 4 videos, and eventually work my way back up to the 6 shorts, and then get that long form every single day. And then I just got to come up with my agenda. I've been sort of so out of it, it just hasn't been on the top of my list, but I need to get on that and go from there. But once again, I want to say thank you, everybody, for sticking with the channel, continuing to support it. As always, I want to say thank you for coming along, and we will see you all about town. And next coming up will be the video for just a little bit to say thank you to Jay for his card showing that for mail time. But as always, thank you, Jay. Thank you, everybody else. And we'll see you all about town. Hey, everybody. So as promised, I have this card I wanted to do mail time. Plus, I wanted to talk about one other thing that'll be with the video tomorrow. Anyway, so I got a card here from Jay, as always, every single month. Jay's really, really awesome. Thank you, Jay, as well, for the gift. I love that it has lassoing the sun, sending some sunshine. And it says here on the inside, sending a little sunshine your way. So thanks, Jay. And I am feeling a lot better, sounding better, sort of regaining my strength. That was sort of gone. I mean, I'm still a little weak yet. I think it's mainly the antibiotics are sort of messing with my system a little bit. But it is what it is. But I am definitely feeling better, and the infection in the leg seems to be almost gone, and the right leg is completely gone. I can tell after going through this for like 5-6 years, you can sort of feel when something isn't quite right. Still got a little bit of cellulitis that goes on the surface on the skin, and a lot of that's from like the leg was swelling. In the last 2 days, the left leg is not swelling like it had been. Usually that's a sign it swells up a lot quicker. And it doesn't even have to be that I'm really doing anything. It just sort of, does what it does. So thanks, Jay, for that once again. The other thing that I forgot to announce earlier in the video, tomorrow we will wind out having a Country Roads Take Me Home. Now, this is a unique one because I'm filming it a little bit different. It looked primarily the same, a lot less shaky. Laws here in Pennsylvania are changing that you can't be holding your phone at all. And in reality, the way I was doing the Country Roads Take Me Home was probably not the most safe, because I'd sort of hold the phone as I drove. So now they're going to have laws in place that you can't be holding your phone while you're driving, which is a good thing. So I have a thing on, especially if you do GPS and stuff like that. I have one of those on my dash, and when I used to do the floor work, I'd have that if there was a place I wasn't familiar with, and do the GPS off of that. And I sort of thought, I wonder if that'll wind up working with my phone. And I think it did. I'll get your guys' input on that tomorrow. I'll ask, specifically for that, for you to give me your input on how will you think of it, if it needs, change a little bit, like maybe turn it a little bit more to the left. The audio was actually, I've been listening to it, and the audio is actually pretty good. It's actually very good. I was actually pretty happy with it overall. I think it looks pretty good. I sort of been thinking about that over the last couple of days, because somebody had made a comment on the one country roads take me home, Schuylkill Haven to Pine Grove. Forget what the route is there, but really pretty drive. And they had talked about 2 other roads that offshoot off of that day. So you really need to do a country roads on those because they're really pretty little valleys. And I want to go back up to Schuylkill Haven. One, I want to go to that Route 61 car place to try to get some more cars filmed. Also, I'd like to do something in regards to the Port Clinton Peanut Shop, and then see if there's supposedly a railroad museum right there in Port Clinton. But anyways, I'd like to go to Schuylkill Haven because they have these cool historical placards that they have up. I forget how many. It's in that 18 to 20 something of these placards that works well for then and now, where it has what the town looked like at that area whenever the time period is. Maybe it's the 50s or whatever. I thought it was pretty cool when I did the Schuylkill Haven rail station. They had right there at the post office, which is right next door, they had one of these placards, and they're all over the place. So I'd sort of like to go up there and do a video on that, do individual videos, but then also do a large platform, long form video on then and now. So look for that tomorrow. The country roads take me home. It's sort of a test, just to see and give me your input on what you think of it. It's a lot steadier, I'll say that. I sort of think it might be pretty darn good format. The only thing that's different is if I see something cool, I'm not going to be able to shift it to go to whatever it is I'm looking at. It's all going to be straight, ahead. I got to see if I can get something that's a little higher so you're not looking at like the windshield wiper is like right on the bottom. I'd like to get up maybe another 2 inches and have it so it's a straight shot out the windshield and it has just a better, cleaner look. So I got to look around and see if I can find one of those phone holders that's a little bit, maybe a couple inches, maybe like three or 4 inches higher, and that would make for a better view. Work very, very well for that. So I have a GoPro camera that I could set up to try to do that as well. So we'll see what happens. But anyways, as always, I want to say thanks for coming along, letting you know that I am still alive and sort of what's going on over the next couple days and what's coming up. Thanks as always, everybody, and we'll see you all about town. Hey everybody, so I'm adding one last little bit here at the end because it's a cool announcement. I didn't want to do a separate video. I am actually, the Hometown Historian channel is going to be working with Lebanon, Pennsylvania 250, which is, I guess you could say, a subsidiary of America 250. We've got our 250th anniversary, or the anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of this country, coming up here in 2026. I'm going to be doing quite a few videos that have to do with the history of Lebanon County and the Lebanon Valley, maybe even some stuff along with Visit Lebanon Valley, just to sort of raise awareness that this event is coming up, because it's shocking how many people aren't aware that the 250th anniversary of our country is coming up. And there's going to be a lot of really, really neat events. So I'll be working with them. Like you have America 250, then you have the states like Pennsylvania 250, and then the counties and maybe even certain cities that each ones have commissions. And I'm going to be working directly with Lebanon County 250. Other cool thing I'm going to be doing, which they had talked to me at Daughters of the American Revolution, Bonnie there had asked me about potentially playing, because I'm 6'2", in playing George Washington. So I will also be doing that in the coming future. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff to come up. I will be doing a video series purely that is for this Lebanon, PA 250. The first one I'm going to be doing will be at Salem Evangelical Lutheran Church, which we have visited in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. and there's a very cool reason why. I think it's the appropriate place in Lebanon County to start off, being that this has to do with the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence and founding of this country. I also want to say another thank you today. I stopped at the post office and I got this really cool card from Jay. It's St. Patrick regrets, I believe it's regrets his decision to drive the snakes out of Ireland. And he's driving him out and is, I have to pee, I feel sick. He's touching me. Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Regret. So thank you, Jay, as always. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the cool message. I don't always do well when people say, hey, you do a really good job. So I do appreciate it because I try to do the best job I can. And but there's another cool announcement for the channel, things that we're going to be doing. So you'll see that new playlist pop up. That'll be Lebanon, Pennsylvania 250. That'll be what that series is for. This is going to be across a number of different platforms on social media, not just Hometown Historian related, but also for this site. I will wind out posting there. I think I did that yesterday for Facebook. I posted their Facebook page, but they actually have a website that they're putting up that they're still not operable, but it's getting there. So I will be keeping you guys up on announcements with that. I'll be making announcements, not just the videos on historic nature, figuring out different places. I know a number of places already that I want to do. I also want to do some Lebanon Valley stuff because I'm going to do the Hanover results, talk about that specifically because that has to do, the precursor to that 250th anniversary. Without those type of precursor airing of grievances and declarations of independence, if you will, it might not have happened. I think it would have, but they certainly had an influence on that to a degree, definitely on the mindset of the colonists. So, as always, I want to say thank you. This will probably be the third time in this video that I say thank you for coming along, and we'll see you all about town.